Hello, welcome again to Blackpool for more action from the Fosters World 8-Ball Pool Championships. We are now at the quarter-final stage. 2 matches gone, 2 still to come. Let's just remind you at home what's happened so far. The defending champion Gareth Potts in terrific form in his quarter-final, putting out Aaron Roberts 9-1. And Phil Harrison really had some good early chances. He threw those away and he lost 9-4 to Adam Davis. Still to come, Jason Twist against Carl Morris. That's our featured match in this programme. Jason, of course, a 2-times former champion himself. And later it'll be Lee Kendall against Gareth Hibbert. Well, I'm delighted to say that once again Keith Brewer's with me here in the studio. Keith, we've enjoyed the action so far. What do you make of what we're about to see?
Well, this really on paper is an extremely close match because you've got 2 of the top 8 seeds that have come through to this stage, both previous world champions, both in good form.
Yeah.
It's very hard to pick a winner here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Jason, of course, 2-times former champion. He's another one in with a chance of making it 3, which has never been done before.
Yeah, that's right, and Jason's probably got one of the best records ever at the World Championships, you know, in appearances on the TV stages. So, yeah, we haven't really been talking too much about Jason, but he's got a chance.
He's been around a while. Let's take a check on the 2 players' records and see how they got to this stage of the tournament. And there we are, Jason Twist, confirmation of the bye, of course, in the 3rd round, and beating Stephen Woods and Clayton Attard. And as far as Carl is concerned, he's seeded 5 in this tournament. He came to see us just before we came on air and said, say lots of good things about me, didn't he, Keith? So he's a young man keen to make an impression. But he's another character. He'll be a dangerous opponent, won't he, for Jason?
Yep, he's renowned for that. He's got these little mannerisms that he has around the table, which amuse some people and maybe annoy others. So it'll be interesting to see how Jason freezes that out of his game. Right,
yet again, I'm going to put you on the spot. Where's your 50p going to go?
Yes, you like doing this, don't you? Well, if I had to pick a winner, I suppose I'd have to just go with Jason here, just.
We shall find out. We're just about ready to go. As you know, the table is set. They're all ready to go. The audience certainly are. Let's now join our MC, Scott Gallagher.
So some great action already here at the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool, and this 3rd quarter-final also promises to be an absolute cracker. So, ladies and gents, please, would you welcome on to the arena Jason Twist and Carl Morris.
A clash of titans here, 2 former world champions. Jason Twist has won this event twice on the left, and Carl Morris back in 1998 on the right. He's a winner 1 time and 1 time only, looking for number 2. And as has been noted, Jason Twist looking for 3 titles, never been accomplished. Both he and Gareth Potts are on song. But first, the first order of business, folks, the lag. Very important, can prove crucial. This to see, when you've got room, of course, this to see who will initiate the breaking sequence. And one can only wonder if some early mind games have already been initiated here. But it's close, and I think that's as clear an indication as you're going to see on how tight this match is going to be. And as always, I will defer for any opinions as we look at the lag once again. It was that close, they had to redo it. This time, it'll definitely be Carl Morris. And I was about to bring my colleague in. I'll be deferring to our resident expert, Sean Baker, to let us know exactly what these players are going to be thinking about.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. I think looking at this quarter-final lineup, this is the most intriguing match of the 4. Certainly, you say, bags of experience.
First frame.
3 world titles between these 2 players.
And Morris with the break in hand. Best of 17, our 3rd quarter-final. And there's more experience at the table between these 2 than you can shake a stick at. But so important to get off the mark early and try and stamp your authority on this match. Both players know that. The early frames, vitally important.
Yeah, I think if Jason Twist gets off to a good start here, you'll see the Carl Morris mind games coming to a 4. But I guarantee one thing, Jason Twist will not be affected by those mind games.
Well, Sean, just correct me here. I'm gonna read between the lines a little bit. For me, I've seen so much of these 2 players in the past in this event. I think if this is a one-sided victory, it can only go the way of Jason Twist. But I think in a tight-fisted encounter, I can see Carl Morris squeaking out a victory if it stays close.
As you say, I think if it was one side, definitely Jason, but I'm not sure because I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago now they met in the quarter-finals, and it was a titanic battle. It went all the way, I think, to a deciding frame, including a re-rack, where both players played to space 3 times. The only way you can have a re-rack in this game, because of the situation they were in, and Jason just edged it on that occasion.
Big shot, early days. Oh, what a shot from Twist there. He knocked that in like it was dangling over the pocket. And instantly, a frame-winning opportunity. But look at this, half a pocket to play with. Unerring accuracy.
Yeah, Jason Twist has got a good background. I think he's just previously played quite a lot of snooker. So when it comes to the long pots, he's no stranger to that. And certainly always been a feature of his game on the 8-foot table. You know, to knock in those long shots, particularly under pressure.
2-time winner, as I said, back in 2000 as well as 2002. Nobody has hoisted the trophy 3 times. Needs an angle here. He looks pretty straight, so he's going to have to dial in for long distance on that last red.
I think he was just looking there, pointing with his cue. He might be looking at drawing back here, Jim. To
no choice,
not
Sean.
far away from where he is now.
He's going to have to stay a little further away from that red than he would have liked, and that's a lot closer to that cushion than he would have liked. What a strike there. Beautifully stroked. And Jason Twist, right out of the gate, gives us something to build on. Twisty right away secures the opening frame here, and it's 1-0 over Carl Morris. Jason Twist securing the first against Carl Morris's break. Looking to increase that margin. And I didn't hear anything drop, Sean.
No, nothing down. It's open table, so Carl's going to come to the table now and have a chance to repay the favour, if you like. Probably not the easiest of tables. Yellows look favourite, and they're certainly all in the open. It's nothing too difficult though here, Jim. Don't think for Carl.
Yellow ball's in play.
Good opening yellow there. And now every chance for Morris to get back on level terms. Such a big year. Welcoming in a new sponsor in Foster's, and who is going to be the first Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Champion?
Well, Carl certainly comes to this championship with some good form. I mean, if you ever speak to him, he'll tell you he hardly plays. Because he does a lot of charity work. Recently, he had a trek to the Arctic. I think it was 70 miles across the Arctic he went, and only a few days after he returned, got straight through to the IPA Tour final, where he lost out to Gareth Potts.
So no frostbite.
No, certainly no frostbite. He'd definitely thawed out by the time he got to Daventry.
Just taking his time here. You'll see a lot of this from Morris. Very much a rhythmic player.
30 seconds.
Maintains a very steady pace.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be hearing a lot of our timekeeper in this match, Ashley Theron from South Africa. As Carl is certainly a player who takes full advantage of that minute rule. And there's Ashley.
Big shot here. Needs to drop onto a yellow. That cue ball had to travel some distance, and the crowd's letting you know how he's done.
Yeah. Provided he didn't drop short there, Jim, he was always going to have a choice of 3 yellows for this. And that's just about perfect, because he can just take them in order now, coming down the table. So this is a fairly straightforward finish.
And manufactured by the lack of success on Jason Twist's break. This is exactly what happened to Morris in the opener. But I think what we're seeing is just how little it takes for either one of these former world champions to secure a frame. Half a chance. And no indication of nerves from the Morris camp either. 1-1 the score here in Blackpool in the race to 9. And confirmation, 3-2 to Carl Morris as Jason Twist breaks off frame number 6. And he'll be eager to make amends. Made a great shot on the 8-ball in the last, only to see the foul snatch the frame right out of his pocket.
Yeah, nice break-off shot from Jason. He's made a ball, but I'm not quite sure which group he'd like to take here. Reds look the better, but
Red ball's in play.
Just looking at the opening pot. Probably looking top right-hand corner pocket. He's got one slightly awkward just above the black, but again, there's options to nudge that out.
30 seconds.
Oh, there's a plant there. There's quite a bit of a distance between those balls, Jim. That's not always the easiest shot to play, is it?
Jason Twist, the sort of player, though, never shies away from a risky shot. And I think given the nature of how he lost the last frame, I think it's imperative right now for him to try and get the train back on the tracks. That's a quick check of the clock. Again, just to remind you, if you're just checking in with us, 60-second shot clock employed here, and you'll hear a 30-second warning.
It's not normally something that affects Jason's game. I think Jason's certainly one of the quicker players on the circuit, along with the likes of Chris Melling, Rob Chilton. Very quick, aggressive players. I just wonder if he's just taking his time a little bit here, because he's just want to make sure about this finish. Say he's just got a little bit of work to do here.
Something else that is very apparent with Jason Twist. When he starts to get the bit between his teeth, his eyes get bigger. He quickens his pace.
Yeah, he's the sort of player, Jason, that if Carl was to stop making a ball off the break and was breaking well, he could run 3 or 4 frames off in the space of a few minutes. And all of a sudden, Carl could see this match disappear away from him, but I'm not convinced that will happen tonight.
That helps his cause. Just bumping that yellow away from that 8-ball, freeing another pocket. Still, the main concern, controlling that cue ball. Always the key to success in top flight pool. The ultimate compliment, you never made a tough shot. "30 seconds.
You see there, a referee, Phil Turner, getting in close. Make sure there's nothing goes astray with clothing touching balls or anything like that.
Just a smattering of applause, but given that Jason had to throw his cue at that one, pretty good effort. To once again level it up. And it is confirmed here in Blackpool. The first 6 frames give nothing to choose a winner. 3-3, Morris and Twist.
Carl Morris to break.
Frame number
3
7.
frames all.
And a quick check from Morris.
You see, he's not happy. What I think he's saying there is that the black isn't on the spot. And the spot's marked on the intersection between, if you drew a line between the corner pocket and the middle pocket, and where those 2 lines crossed, that's the spot where the black goes.
Frame number 7. Carl Morris, Jason Twist, serving up a feast. 3-3. And Morris to crack open the triangle colors.
Open table.
Second dry break for Carl.
Yeah, and a look of amazement really from Carl. A few words, and I'm sure we'll be hearing about it, and shortly somebody will be getting told in the crowd exactly what he thinks of that.
You know, Sean, I'm asked one question more often than any other in all my travels. You know, how do you make a ball off the break? What's the secret to the break? I said, well, if I knew that, I'd still be playing.
30 seconds.
Right, I'm surprised. Jason looks like he's taking reds here. I'm surprised because the position of that one you can see there in the shot on the right hand side at the top rail. Whether he feels he can get position down between the 2 yellows and take that in the corner, top right hand corner. He obviously does. And if he can, this table is at his mercy again.
Ensures to leave himself a nice angle to try and bring that cue ball up towards the remaining reds. Just got to be careful here, though. A little more angle than I think he really wanted.
I think he has run, just say, a couple of inches further than he wanted. Just about still get through to the red. Get down the table. I think what he's going to have to watch here when he plays this next shot is potentially running into one of the yellow balls here. Now whether he does it deliberately and use it as a breaker to stop the cue ball, very dangerous because you get it fractionally wrong, you can find the cue ball tucked up behind a yellow, or look at, he's definitely taking left hand middle pocket I think here.
The players always look where Jason Twist's name appears in the draw.
30 seconds.
Never a player that anyone fancies having to hook in the draw. So much talent.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, Jim, I can honestly say I can't ever remember seeing Jason Twist play a bad game. You know, all right, all players play bad shots or the odd bad frame, but I've seen Jason get beat, and I've seen, I think Mick Hill beat him in a final a few years ago at Great Yarmouth, like 9-1, but Jason did nothing wrong. I mean, Mick was on fire. Simple as that.
He had a quick look just to see where he could position the cue ball, and now just try and roll through. It looks like about 10 to 12 inches on this red. We'll leave the other red top right. I'd like to have rolled a little further. We should still expect to get this.
Yeah, superb shot there from Jason Twist. Been very easy just to have rolled that in.
Well, a foul took one frame away from him, and he's responded like a two-time champion should. He's taken the last 2 to lead Carl Morris 4-3. Our third quarterfinal is unfolding exactly as we expected. Very, very tough match to call, and effectively now reduced to a best of 9. Our current score, 4 frames apiece. Former world champions Jason Twist and Carl Morris Nothing to choose between them.
Break.
And
Off and
everything
go.
now really depending on holding serve. Carl Morris to break. Frame number 9 of a possible 17. And Sean, as they get closer to the finish line, mistakes are going to be magnified.
Open table.
Yeah, without a doubt. You see Carl's not happy there. He's not made a ball again. You saw him checking the pack before the break-off. He was happy, so it's nothing to do with the setup. It's just the way he's hit them balls. And I just feel the closer we get to the finish line and the closer the match is, I just think you'll see that a little bit more from Carl. He just had a little word with Jason then just before he broke, you noticed. And he was just, whether he was just trying to break Jason's concentration a little bit or just trying to draw him a little bit, you know. But, like I said earlier on in this match, you won't see Twisty fazed by anything that Carl can do or say.
Opting for reds. And everything looks like it passes, just depending on where the cue ball lay. Even the red into the top right goes by that yellow. And right away, Jason electing to get rid of one of the more awkward reds.
Well, he was almost perfect position there, Jim. That he did as he did. Only had to stun back a couple of inches on that ball to leave him this one that was slightly awkward. And all he's got to do now is just plot his route out of that end of the table into the middle.
Thirty seconds.
You can see Jason was just a little bit concerned about that shot, the amount of time he took to play it.
He trailed 2-1 at one stage and 3-2 at another. Still the long red. You can see top left. And you'll just have to draw this just slightly. Stay above that yellow to leave the red into the other side pocket. But in an ideal world, he'd like to be very straight on that red.
This is the secret of Jason's game. One of the big shots in his armoury is the long shot. And the old commentator's curse has struck there.
Yellow ball's in play.
Jason Twist has missed what really should be a straightforward pot for him.
Yes, mark this one down. An unforced error from Jason Twist. And that affords Carl Morris an opportunity that I'm sure he didn't think would arrive so soon.
We had it in the last frame where Jason ran out of position on a finish and ended up having to try and double the black to that top corner pocket and didn't make it. Left Carl a fairly straightforward finish. And now he's done a similar sort of thing. He's had a finish on, fairly straightforward. Missed it and giving Carl a great chance here to take 2 frames on the spin.
Time out.
Just feels he's had a bad contact there because I think he's asking for the cue ball to be cleaned.
It's perfectly within a player's right to have that cue ball or any ball on the table cleaned at their discretion. Obviously just picking up some chalk off the table. Not following through as Carl would have liked it to. Still, you can see how the last 4 yellows are placed. And only the circumstances making this difficult. On the practice table, it would probably already have been pocketed.
think he'd have probably wanted to take the one below the black in ideal circumstances here, but he's choosing not to. I don't know whether he can quite get through to it, so he's going to go that one. Probably just bump into the red and use it as a stopper, which he's done.
Once again, Morris replies by taking 2 in a row, and with it, securing a 5-4 advantage over Jason Twist.
10th frame.
Jason doesn't make a ball
Jason
and gives
Twist
him
to break.
yet another chance.
Trailing 5 frames to 4.
Frame number 10. Once again, Jason Twist, 1 frame adrift, 5-4 in favor of Carl Morris. But of the two, he enjoys more success on the break.
Red ball potted.
And only time will tell whether he can carry that advantage through.
I think he'll be nominating yellows here. Jim, we look at this table. None of them are particularly difficult here. Fairly straightforward opening pot. Again, just got to pick his way around this finish.
Yes, it looks like that 8 ball is available to the side pocket too, Sean, so he doesn't have to develop anything.
No. Just wonder if he was trying to finish a bit higher up here. Take the one to the top right-hand corner. We see the black there clearly goes into that middle pocket. He's just got one slightly awkward yellow on the, we see on the right-hand side there, near to the top of the table, but one decent positional shot. And this yellow that's nearest to us, that would be an insurance ball, so it'd be a shot where he wouldn't have to probably do a lot with the cue ball.
Jason, every time he hits the canvas, he tends to come up stronger. And last time Morris took 2 in a row, Twist responded. He's going to have to do it again.
Where is the cue ball going? And that is a bad mistake there from Jason Twist. He's tried to get in to take that yellow up the rail, and he's deposited the cue ball in the middle pocket.
And with the foul, things couldn't have worked out any worse for Jason. That white, just enough pace to find that center pocket. But with the 2 visits now, that affords Carl Morris the chance to develop the difficult red below the black.
He's taking the opportunity straight away to develop that. A little slap of the tail. I think he's actually hit his hand there, but because what he's done is that the yellow and the red have come together near to where the cue ball is now. But you see there, it's not what he was looking for.
But still, the second visit, Sean, he's far from the danger zone. He just can't afford any misses.
30 seconds.
And this could be useful.
I just wonder if he can actually take that red now into the bottom right-hand corner pocket. So it looks like the red is just slightly in front of the yellow. So there may just be the right angle here. It'll be a close call.
Yeah, and our camera angle really gives us nothing to form any conclusion.
30 seconds.
But he's going to develop the red here anyway. Just get it over the pocket. Second visit now to come, and here's where Carl has to finish.
taking the slightly, well, the more awkward one of these, if you like. A far more straightforward shot into the corner, but he's picking his route here. So he probably wants to go up the table now. Where has he left that cue ball? He's about 3 foot short there of where he needs to be, Jim.
As soon as he hit it, Sean, I knew he'd hit it too hard. As soon as he struck that red, I knew there was too much pace in the white. And he is going to have to come up with a shot now. They call him Houdini. Well, Houdini, what trick have you got up your sleeve here?
In normal circumstances with Carl, you wouldn't get very long odds for him to go across the table and knock the red into the top corner pocket and leave himself perfect on his last ball. But I'm not convinced. He's going to have to play something special here, though.
Wing and a prayer, Sean. Wow.
Fantastic shot from Carl Morris.
Best shot of the match for Carl Morris. He's given himself a chance from nowhere.
He took a little bit of a chance there with that middle pocket, similar to Jason did earlier on the frame, where Jason found that middle pocket. You see he has finished, though. Very awkward where the cue ball's tight on the rail.
He is willing that cue ball on so he doesn't have to bridge over that yellow. He's never been too clear, and he needs this 8 for a 6-4 lead. It's in the bank now. The 1998 world champion goes too clear. 6-4 over Jason Twist.
11th frame. Carl Morris to break. Leading 6 frames to 4.
There's the score, 6-4 to Morris. Frame number 11. Took a lot of speed off that break.
Yeah, he's played what they call a cut break, where he's played the second ball down there. And like you say, takes some off it, trying to guarantee making a ball.
All you can ever do is alter the area of where you place the white and the speed that you attack the colors on the break. No secret, but the good players, when they find that golden spot, they stick to it. And as yet, neither player has really found it. You get the feeling, if you're a Jason Twist supporter right here, Sean, you need your man to clear up.
Without a doubt, as I say, because if he was to lose this frame, he'd be then 3 frames behind. It's a big deficit, particularly to leave Carl Morris only 2 frames from victory. It's a best of 17 race to 9 in the quarter-finals of this year's Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships.
This event never fails to disappoint. It always brings the best out in drama, in emotion. These players live on the edge. Many of them full-time pool professionals, live and die on each shot.
Quite sure which ball he's trying to get on there, Jim.
Not the best positional effort again, and if he can get through to this yellow between the black and the red and count himself lucky.
I think that's probably where he was looking, maybe to come just the other side of that. I think he can see this, but he's got to try and stun it back and across for the one down the rail. I think that's what he was trying to do. I'd say it'd have been a lot easier shot. It'd come a little bit further over.
30 seconds.
You could see more than enough of it. And for the second time A glaring mistake sends Jason back to his chair.
Yeah, unfortunately for me now, Jim, Jason's making too many mistakes in this game. And the way it's looking, there'll only be one winner.
There's one thing about those chairs in the pool forum. As comfortable as they might look, they're far from inviting.
Once again there, Carl's overrun the shot. He's not happy at all. He's giving himself a right talking to here.
Well, one good shot though, and he can retrieve the situation. Just knock this red in. Everything's available.
$30.
Again, he's just overcooked that a little bit. He's looking to take this top left now. He's just going to be sending the cue ball around the table a little bit and not having great control. The only other option is to take one. I think he's got one into the left middle, which would offer him more control, certainly on the cue ball.
He's always got that look on his face, though. It looks like a bulldog chewing on a hornet. Just never looks happy. 6-4 in front, you'd never know it.
30 seconds.
I'm very surprised he's taking this shot on. As you see, he had no great control on that cue ball of where it was going to finish up.
This red passes. I think Morris senses the urgency of the situation right now. A clearance here would put Jason Twist in a heap of trouble. If he goes 7-4 in front, effectively Jason Twist would have to win 5 of the remaining 6 frames. A tall order, given the alternating break format.
Just about perfect there. Just a little nudge on that yellow, just stop the path of the cue ball. Straight forward. Ball into the middle, ball into the corner, and take your pick with the black. Just showing you where he wants to leave that cue ball.
He's sped up. And 7-4 is now in the bank. A great performance there from Carl Morris. He's won the last 4 frames. 7-4 confirmed here in Blackpool. Morris now in the driver's seat. Jason Twist has to come up with a little bit of pool magic. He's terrific with the trick shots, does a lot of exhibitions, does Jason Twist. And he's going to have to show something now.
Yeah, certainly if he's going to get in this back in this match, the tornado's going to have to start blowing. You see there just a little bit of say emotion. He's just having a chat with his supporters there, I think, a few words.
And I think it's fair to say, Sean, that he's got no one to blame but himself. It's been 3 glaring mistakes.
Well,
missed open opportunities
Jason
and
Twist
lost
to break.
cue ball.
Trailing 7 frames to 4.
Frame number 12. 4-7. The deficit that Jason Twist is facing. And he's never needed to pull it out more than now.
Quite a red and a yellow ball, so he's got a choice of what he takes, but just look where that cue ball's finished.
And no choice but reds here. They'll suit him just fine.
Reds. Red ball's in play.
Just see on the over there, he's actually got that red into the top right-hand corner pocket.
has to win here and now in this one. And he's going to have to hope for a mistake from Morris. He's going to have to break serve.
The thing about it is, if he can take this frame, the way Carl has been breaking, Carl hasn't been making a ball. I mean, realistically, Jason could have been 7-4 up himself here, and he should have been, really, the chances he's had in the last 3 frames. You know, so he's getting the ball on the break, but he's just not taking the opportunity.
He overdrew that one. He wanted to be below the red so he could draw and play the red, the top end of the table as we look. To the top left, I don't know whether it passes yellow into the top right corner. And if it doesn't, the game plan's going to have to change.
30 seconds.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't there, Jim. Looking at that overhead shot. You know, sometimes it's deceived us, the overhead, but not in this case. I'm certain that red does not go past the yellow, so like I say, he's going to have to somehow manufacture here a shot to get back. Looks like he's going across the table and coming back for it.
Not enough pace to get on the intended red, but he does have the one to the center. But now the path changes, and that cue ball has to do some traveling. Never an equation for success.
I think he's finished very, very straight on the bottom left, so it looks like he's going to have to go top left here first. Come round the angles with the cue ball, be round that yellow in the balk area.
Great shot. Took the difficult red, put all his eggs in one basket there, Sean. And he came out golden. And what a much needed visit this is from Jason Twist. And how vital that 8. He had to stay on song and finally stops the rot. 7-5 to Carl Morris.
Welcome back. It's a fascinating third men's quarter-final here at Blackpool. We thought before it started it would be tight. Keith Brewer's with me here in the studio. Keith, you felt it would be a close match, and it sure is.
Well, I think, you know, when you look at two players that have played so well this week, I just felt coming into this match it was so hard to call, and it's the way it's proven to be so far.
And you've got these two contrasting styles, as you said. There's sort of Jason's sort of done it all, been there. He knows how Carl plays. Plays in a slightly different way to Carl. He's full of the little mannerisms and the sort of tricks, if you like.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we all know what Carl gets up to, and we all try and put up with it the best we can. Jason has got so much experience, won't let it faze him, and in fact, actually, I think it's actually made him play that little bit better.
So you're still going with your pick of Jason?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been a little bit unlucky to knock the red in when he potted that excellent black. At the moment, he does look slightly the better player. OK,
here we go. We're now going to see the finish. Let's see what happens.
Trailing 7 frames to 6.
Frame number 14. Praying for a color to find gravity. 7-6 to Carl Morris.
Yeah, great split there from Jason. He's potted a red. A quick look. I think he's going to go yellows here. You've heard him quickly nominate yellows. He's going to pot this one. I think he's developed the one that's near the middle pocket as well. That's a fantastic shot from Jason Twist.
Does anyone get to the finish line better than Jason Twist? And when he smells blood, I'll tell you what, he is a predator, this guy.
Tell you what though, Jim, if you look at the chances he's had in this match, he could have been sitting in the bar now, enjoying a well-earned pint, having secured his title, his place in the semi-final.
Well, if he gets out here, the pressure reverts right back to Carl Morris.
You'll notice Jason's just quickened up the pace now of his play. As we say, I think he stole the last frame from Carl. And a break and finish here. It'd be like kicking a man when he's down.
He can just float this in. He can even use those two reds if he so chooses. Just personal preference.
Yeah, I think he's looking to go between the yellow and the two reds. He's just pointing there with the cue ball where he wanted to go, perhaps. No, he chose not to. Oh, he's just overcooked that a little bit. Maybe just a little bit more adrenaline, that shot, Jim.
Thin cut. And that means the cue ball will be traveling a little more than Jason would have liked. An anxious look. That cue ball was tracking towards that center pocket. It's all happening here in Blackpool. 14 frames now in the books. 7-7.
This match has now been reduced to a best of three. The quarter-finals, this year's World Championships. Jason Twist there, certainly enjoying the moment now. Laughing and joking with people, his supporters there in the crowd.
Yeah, no prizes to guess who's got the initiative right now. Carl Morris does have the break in the next.
Yeah, you see there, Chris Mellon, I think that's who Jason Twist was just talking to. He was just explaining to him how he's taking out that finish, how easy it was. Just wasn't a problem for him. But, as I say, he could have been home and dry by now. How will Carl now respond to the pressure that Jason's exerted?
Neither one of these players have been forced to something quite like this in this year's event. And in fact, our first two quarterfinals, clear-cut affairs, 9-1. Potts over Roberts, and 9-4, Davis over Harrison. This one,
7 frames all.
totally different. Frame number 15, and Carl Morris with a massive break. Red down. And the first chance falls to Morris.
I think he was just willing the cue ball to stop rolling there. I think if he'd been able to see the one take the ball top left, they've already afforded him position to take the other two out as well.
He's got the long yellow, Sean. Reds look a little easier,
30 seconds.
if for no other reason. The bottom right corner as we look. Red nearer that pocket. But no easy starter. I think he may be forced to have to go at yellows.
He's certainly going to have to make his mind up quickly now.
Red ball's in play.
Well, he's gone with the reds.
Yellow ball's in play.
Quite a decent little shot there from Carl, because what he's done is left Jason nothing. So all Jason's got to try and do now is find a containing shot off that yellow that he's very close to. Possibly look at just flick off it and try and leave the cue ball parked on the top right-hand side. top right-hand corner pocket as we looked on the shot there.
We haven't really seen either player employ any strategy to this point in the match, and
30
I mean,
seconds.
it's the 11th hour, really, so you wouldn't expect it to come now.
A very clever shot there from Jason. He's just tried to block the path of that red. I don't know whether he's left it into the other corner pocket.
Well, I think he has. And what's more is the red nearest the bottom right corner as we look affords position. So I wonder if that's not a little bit of a mental lapse from Jason.
Time out.
Yeah, I certainly thought he should have been trying to leave the cue ball, say, near that top right-hand corner pocket there.
Time running.
He'd have left Carl with... Certainly wouldn't have left a pot on for him there.
Thirty seconds.
It was never going to be an easy match to call, even before a ball had been struck.
No, I mean, this is as much a test of mental strength as it is cueing ability. Say, both these are former world champions, so they've got the ability, and they're both mentally tough.
No, anytime it gets to this stage, it's all about character. They both want it. Who can hold themselves together?
I think he's just about perfect there, because he can just take bottom left here, and he's got the one in the middle. As you say, he's the one top right, and it'll leave him position on for the one to the top left.
And the red that Jason Twist tried to cover will be the last one that Morris removes. The one solace for Jason Twist is he will have the break in the next. Carl will want to follow through here. You'd like to just be a little above that red with an angle just to get the cue ball a little closer to that 8. That looks perfect.
Yeah, he should just be able to stun off down into the middle of the table and leave that black bottom right. What he doesn't want here is just a little bit of an adrenaline rush.
I'll wager that Jason Twist would like to play his shot over again.
I'm not convinced that was the way he was playing it, Jim, but he's left himself a shot on this black.
And gets it. Carl Morris answers the bell. 8-7 over Jason Twist. It'll be Twisty with the break in frame number 16. Frame number 16 of a schedule 17. 8-7 to Carl Morris. Jason Twist needs that cue ball to stay on the table. Even though nothing went down.
A little wry smile there from Jason to Carl. This is a safety break, I think you'll call that. He's parked that cue ball right behind those two reds.
You'd never know. That was a man in an 8-7 battle. Not with that grin. But Jason enjoys this. He's just that nature. He'll be fighting to the bitter end, and he wants to win
30 seconds.
like it's nobody's business.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Twisty down after a game either. You know, even when he's got beat, be it a world semi-final, world final, a tour match, he never seems to get down. You know, you'll see him afterwards, and he'll have a laugh and a joke, and that's how he is. Fantastic shot there from Carl Morris.
Red ball's in play.
He kind of shrugs his shoulders after he knocked it in. He says, well, Yeah, okay, I got that one, but yeah, it wasn't exactly something I expected to get. Otherwise, I would have played better position. But if he could knock in another good red.
Yeah, because to be fair, all he's done really is given him what colour he's on. That cue ball is almost in a similar spot as it was. But it's given him that chance. And can he take it? He's got it.
Can he ever? What a shot. Now look at him. Now every chance. Two magnificent efforts on the Reds. And here's where all that experience of having been there and done that comes into play. Both of these players can boast that experience.
30 seconds.
But only one is going to remain on course in this year's event.
It wasn't an easy shot for Carl. That cue ball close to the rail, so he couldn't really afford to try and do too much with the cue ball. He's just going to have to rely on his long potting ability here. It's a fairly straightforward shot, but nothing straightforward at 8-7 in the World Championship quarter-final.
He did all the hard work
Yellow ball's in play.
and manufactured a possible win from nowhere. And he's telling you right there, the shoulder went for a holiday.
Well, I just wondered, Jason's tempted him here with one good pot from Carl Morris. Could win in this game. Once again, Carl couldn't step up to the plate.
But his time has arrived. And he's got an awful lot of work to do.
Jason's just struggling a little bit here on this finish. It's not very often you see him spend this amount of time. You'll see it on the first shot, and then after that he's made up his mind where he's going.
30 seconds.
See where he's holding his Q-tip? That's where he wants to leave the cue ball. So he's going to develop this yellow, get it out in the open, and bring the cue ball down where he was showing you. That covers everything. Though, has he left a chance at this red? Off the red, into the center. And now, another dodgy red. And Jason Twist, well, he was shaking his head for reason.
Carl's looked at that. I think he's left this dead straight.
Well, if he's dead straight, he can't get over the left-hand side of the table.
No, he wanted to just leave himself a little bit of angle here to stun back up the table. And he's not done it, I don't think. You say, I don't know, looking at that, perhaps he has. You just don't know with Carl, do you? You just do not know.
Well, is there another chapter to be written in this book?
Thirty seconds.
Well, that is a shot for the master. He's gone all the way around those yellows and left himself at the angle to get back down the table for this black. And he's still not happy.
Well, Jason Twist can still smile. But I wonder if he's resigned himself to his fate. 2 shots away. Book a spot
30
into the last
seconds.
4. Sean, what can you say that our pictures don't let everybody at home know?
Just felt when he was walking round, he got down once and got up and he wasn't happy, and I can't understand it. Because...
Nerves.
Yeah.
Plain
that can-
and
all it can be.
simple.
But can Twist take this opportunity? He's opted to play, and you better mark your calendar, because Jason Twist has just played a safety shot. That's something you don't see very often. But it's certainly what he needed at this point.
Well, Carl still reliving that miss.
Do you know what he's looking at playing?
He's trying to use the jaws of the corner pocket, the knuckles in that top right corner. Well, those are the sort of shots you see in exhibition matches.
2
I mean,
visits.
to have pulled that one out here would have been a real big ask.
I'll tell you what, he's not done that much damage. The only shot, I mean, Jason could look at wasting a visit and then maybe trying to take a yellow into that top left-hand corner pocket off the red, because that's blocking the path of those 2 yellows, I'm sure. Don't think he's left him a pot on. So I say, waste a visit and get position, but
30 seconds.
it's a big ask at this point in this match.
And that, I
Second
don't
visit.
believe, was the intended plan. He's just bumped a yellow to the top end of the table, nearest the pocket that's guarded by Carl Morris's red. So now he's forced to play safe.
I think he probably just looked to try and develop this yellow out. You say leave the cue ball on that side rail. It's a fairly easy escape
30
for Carl.
seconds.
Looks like he played a nice little shot there, because I think he's just nudged that yellow off the side cushion, so that'll go in the middle pocket now.
I was going to say, once again, you know, Morris is faced with a virtually impossible hit. And where that yellow is now, the one at the top end of the table, the previous escape path wasn't there. So he wastes
visits.
one.
I think he's forcing Jason's hand here.
In fairness, Sean, nothing short of a massive error
30
from Jason
seconds.
Twist is going to cost him this frame.
Second visit.
Second visit in.
Don't think he's finished in the best position there. I don't know just what he's looking at here. Whether he can get that yellow in front of the red, or whether it pots, or just can't quite tell. We're going to find
30
out though.
seconds.
I think he'd like to try and knock this yellow in off the cushion, off the red and in. Free that pocket. That would make life a lot easier.
It's a massive shot again, this stage of this match.
You really wouldn't want to have to play something like that.
I mean, if he was going to use that red, I was going to say, why not take the one into the middle and give yourself better position
30 seconds.
on one of those yellows? And that's what he's done.
30 seconds.
Played an excellent shot there, Jim.
I think he has a choice here. He can just roll this in. He's going to have the perfect angle on the second to last yellow. Or, if he decides, he can still play this yellow off the red. But he's got the angle on this yellow where he was always going to be playing the yellow into the other pocket anyway. So a little surprised that he went that path and stopped the cue ball dead. I would have expected him to play that shot playing the yellow clean.
I just wondered whether he was trying to follow through a little bit more.
Oh, he's screwed to the side cushion. Maintains the angle. Little higher degree of difficulty, but you know something? A player like Jason Twist never shies away from a challenge.
Well, it's wiped its feet, but it's found the pocket. And now this black to level the match, to give us a one-frame decider.
Just what we would have expected, a treat here in Blackpool. 8-8, Carl Morris and Jason Twist. It'll be Morris with the break to decide who goes through to the semifinals.
He's happy, you see. Do see the handshake there.
Carl Morris with the break now. The last frame of this quarterfinal match. 8-8. They've shaken hands. These two friends off the table, rivals on it. One frame to decide a place in the semis. First chance to the tornado.
And I tell you, look at the reds. These reds are all in the open for Jason Twist. You will not get a better chance in this frame than to book his place in that world semi-final.
The number 3 seed would have come into this quarterfinal as a very slight favorite.
Yeah, I was
30
just going to say, I don't know whether
seconds.
Carl's going to sit down here and just try a little bit of a mind game with Jason, but he did sit down. That wiped its feet.
Well, can there be a ball easy enough at this stage? I mean, we're on the edge of our seats here in the commentary box. I guarantee our folks at home watching this, if they've got fingernails left. And right away, this was not the intended red.
He's just looking, can he take this one into the
30
bottom left-hand
seconds.
corner? And he can. It's a superb shot there from Jason Twist. As you say, the number 5 seed, the number 3 seed. We expected nothing less.
It certainly has lived up to advanced billing, this one.
We said much earlier on, last time these two met, the televised stage of the World Championships, it went all the way to a final frame decider. And they've served up another feast again this time. He just wants to drop there, low side of this red, just come behind the 3 yellows that are clustered together, leave himself the black to that bottom left as we look now. And he's made it.
A titanic struggle between these two champions. Can't end quick enough. And it's the tornado who blows last. Jason Twist, a 9-8 winner over the number 5 seed Carl Morris. His chance for a third world title lives on. Jason Twist through to the semi-finals.
So, as we expected, as we hoped, it turned out to be a terrific quarter-final. In the end, Jason Twist just getting there, Keith. But we thought it would be tight, but never this tight.
Well, I wasn't surprised to see one of these matches go to the wire, you know, and it was just a great match. I think both players contributed well to the game, and shame had to be a loser there in the end. It was a really good match.
I love the way it ebbed and flowed. You weren't really sure right until the end who was going to win this one.
No, not at all, and Carl will be kicking himself there because after playing an excellent shot to bring the cue ball off about 3 rails, then of course missed the simple red in the corner, trying to get really good position on the black. Maybe he should have just rolled that one in and took the long black.
We'll never know. Anyway, Keith, thanks for that. Just to confirm for you at home what's happened so far, there's still one quarter-final to go. That's Lee Kendall against Gareth Hibbert. As you can see, Gareth Potts already through against Adam Davis. Jason Twist, of course, through against Carl Morris. And now, next time, it'll be Lee Kendall against Gareth Hibbert. So there we are. That's our next quarter-final. Whatever you do, don't miss it. In the meantime, from everyone here at Blackpool, bye-bye for now. See you next time.